Welcome to Cigar City Radio, episode number 44. I'm your host, Randy Ojeda, and making the magic happen, Mr. Jason Solanes. No, just stop. Don't even record that, just cut it. For more episodes, head to cigarcityradio.com or subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, or whatever your favorite podcast app is. Just search for Cigar City Radio. You can also connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, and on all those networks, our username is Cigar City Radio.
This episode of Cigar City Radio was recorded at the Blind Tiger in Ybor City. The Blind Tiger is a 1920s speakeasy-style coffee shop serving coffee, tea, vegan pastries, and more, with locations in Ybor City and Seminole Heights. You can check them out at blindtigercafe.com.
So if you didn't know, our friends at Creative Loafing do a yearly Best of the Bay Awards, which honors local restaurants, musicians, politicians, you name it, and determine who is the best of the Bay. And it is entirely user voted. So if you go to Creative Loafing Tampa, you can vote for the Best of the Bay Awards. We've actually been nominated for several awards. At Cigar City MGMT was nominated for Best Local Instagrammer. The Cigar City Radio Show was nominated for Best Local Podcast and Best Local Internet Radio Show. And I myself, for some odd reason, was nominated for Best CEO and Best Local Personality to follow on Twitter at Real Randy Ojeda. So all of those are under the People, Places, Politics category. So if you head to cltampa.com/BOTB 2017, you can vote for us. We'd really appreciate it. The polls will be open through August 23rd, and they're going to be announcing the winners September 27th at the Mahaffey Theater in St. Pete. So again, head to cltampa.com/BOTB 2017. Vote for Cigar City Radio for Best Local Podcast, Best Local Internet Radio Show, and at Cigar City MGMT for Best Local Instagrammer. If you want to vote for me for Best CEO, that's cool too. Thanks. Our guest on this episode is Cindy Wilson, one of the members of the legendary B-52's, one of the great American new wave bands of all time. Maybe the greatest. Nah, Devo heads are going to get angry if I say that.
Plenty of people will get angry, but I think that's an opinionated thing.
Yeah, but definitely one of the most long-lasting new wave bands. Their 40-year career is nothing but astounding. She actually told us in the interview that next year they'll be celebrating their actual 40th anniversary. So look out for more info about that. And also check out her solo project under the name Cindy Wilson. Her debut album, Change, will be out this November on one of our favorite record labels, Kill Rock Stars. So this was a really fun interview to do. It was an honor to have her on the show. For more info, check out Cindy Wilson B-52's. So here it is, episode number 44. B-52's.
Hi.
And more recently, Cindy Wilson of Cindy Wilson, right?
Yeah, we're doing a solo project, and I've got a wonderful band. We just signed with Kill Rock Star label.
I was gonna ask you about that. How did that come together with Kill Rock Stars?
Well, you know, we were doing South by Southwest.
Mm-hmm. This year?
Yeah.
Oh, we were over there too.
Were you?
Yeah.
It was so much fun. And we were doing a small tour on our way to Texas. You know? So we stopped at a lot of different cities and got an Airbnb in Austin outside. It was great.
Cool.
In the hills.
Yeah. Austin's beautiful.
It is. I really enjoyed it. And met so many really cool people. And I got to do a lot of press. Got, you know, my face out there and talking about the project. And met a lot of music people and a lot of bands from Georgia too. We had a kind of a bar there that we were going to, and it was
that became the Athens pub.
Yeah,
or something? Yeah, okay.
It was so much fun. You know,
Awesome.
we were just like, yeah, it was a great day. You know, it was really dirty and funky and everything, but so rock and roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
That's awesome. So did you meet Portia from Kill the Rock Stars there?
And we started talking. And Dan, our manager for the Settler Project, he was doing his thing.
Yeah, he was.
He was.
That's so funny. I met Portia at South by.
Okay.
Also, yeah. She actually came to see one of the bands that we manage called Fruit and Flowers.
Awesome.
They were playing over there, and she came out for that. So it's funny that you also met her at South by.
Yeah.
I guess she was really making the rounds.
She was making the rounds. God bless her.
Yeah.
So nice. And she was impressed with our sound and what we were doing. And so nice.
Yeah.
And supportive.
She has a great podcast too, actually. The Future
Is that
of
right?
What? Yeah. It's funny when she introduced herself to me and she gave me your card, I was nerding out more about the podcast. I was like, oh, I love your show. Even more so than the record label, which obviously is like one of the best indie labels.
Well, the podcast gets around too.
Yeah.
But I can't tell you how many musicians go, really? When I told them about, Kill Rock Stars and being interested,
Yeah, they're definitely like a musician's label, like people in the
they're
know.
highly regarded.
Yeah.
And they treat the artist and really well.
Yeah.
And support them. And so it's fantastic. So, we held our breath for a while and finally it came through and we finally could announce it just a couple of days ago.
Yeah, I saw the announcement and I was stoked for you. I was like, that's
Thank
such a great fit. And then the new track, Mystic, great single. And what I love, I can hear some of the B-52's in there.
Yeah, some of our deeper cuts. You can really hear it.
Who produced the record, by the way?
It was Suni Lyons.
Okay.
He's the genius sound. Ryan and I have been friends in Lemuel for I guess 8 years now. And we were just kicking around the idea about going into the studio and just experimenting. Nothing serious. Just we had some extra time,
So like, why not?
Yeah. and so one experimental was fun, and it led to another, and we started saying, okay, this looks promising, right? Yeah. And we went to Suni Lyons' studio, and as soon as we started working, it became really apparent that Suni had to be part of the project.
Yeah.
And he's had such good vision and wonderful ideas, and he's just a master producer.
Yeah.
And we're so pleased with how it turned out.
Yeah, because the sound of the record is fantastic. Like it's got this like still sort of 80s like Kraftwerky type electronic sound to it.
Yeah. The only thing I asked Suni at the beginning says, he asked me some of my what I was listening to, and I would say, Gary Newman's I'd been listening to that day, and I was listening to Tame Impala a lot then, and the Temples, and kind of that kind of psychedelia stuff.
But it's a different take on psychedelia.
It is, definitely.
It's not like...
Oh, no, it's not like we're trying to copycat.
Yeah. Well, that's what I think is cool about it, is it merges kind of the 80s style with like some of the new, what postmodern psychedelia or whatever people are calling it.
Yeah, some people said it had French pop. I don't know.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm
and electronica, so we've got a little bit of everything in it. So, and the melodies are really great. And I'm used to singing harmonies with Kate, and so it was really fun to be able to do it with some guys, harmonies, and Suni and Ryan have beautiful voices. And so the harmonies are really haunting and beautiful.
That's awesome. And I know you've always been big on the harmonies.
We
right?
love it. I love it. I love a good melody, and I love a good harmony.
Yeah.
And I love a good rock and roll, And we've come up with there's a variety of flavors on this album, it takes you from one mood to another, and did you get both EPs a chance to listen to that?
Yeah. There's a lot of really cool stuff. Did you release it all this year?
Yeah.
We're
prolific.
I know.
And we're still coming up with ideas and growing how we want to, kind of take this project and, what direction, musically. And so I'm pinching myself. It's
That's so
a
cool.
dream come true.
You were just telling us that it's you all in the van. You know, you got your gear stacked, your EPs and everything,
And everybody in the same van, you know.
yeah. So how? I mean, that's the big change for for so long you were
Oh,
touring
yeah.
all over with the
It was
B-52's.
old school rock and roll, touring sort of. We were flying everywhere, and I love going back to the beginning again, and in the van where you really establish and get closer.
Oh, you
And
have
so
to
you
be.
become a
You have to be
unit.
close.
You really function as a band, a unit,
Yeah.
which reflects on stage, So I think we're getting tight like that.
Yeah.
So
I'm
that's
sure.
great. And I forgot about that.
Yeah, that whole scene. You're basically doing it DIY.
So I'm
style,
learning.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's been like a school for me.
Really.
Singing a little bit differently.
Mm-hmm.
And experimenting like that with the different music and also scaling it back down, getting real and saving costs,
Yeah.
It's not modern to spend a lot of money, These days, you have to be careful with where you you spend it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
so-
because it's important to count every dollar that comes in.
Yeah,
and-
so
yeah.
the T-shirts have been great, help
Cool.
with our gas and, van
Yeah.
rental,
Get you to the next
all
town.
that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of romantic.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, it's like you're back to your roots in a sense. Is that how you guys started back in Athens? Was sort of that DIY style?
B-52's, we were, just a party band, just, playing. I mean, we were originals. We never played covers. We always wrote our own songs. But we wrote about 5 songs and played at a Valentine's Day party, and that's how we began.
Really? Valentine's Day party. Wow.
Yeah. and then it just kind of kept going. But we always, which is something I think we do in this band, is rehearse is a really important thing.
Yeah.
I think you got to really know your material and your performance, So and I think that's in this band as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, people are paying money to see you, so yeah, you want to be on.
But you would be surprised how some bands think, oh,
Yeah.
I'm such a good artist, I don't have to.
Yeah, or I've already played the song 100 times, so why do I need to practice it again?
No,
I hear you.
Yeah.
But that's so cool though.
It's very cool.
But the B-52's, you guys are still touring though, right?
Yeah.
You're not stopping the B-52's.
No. In fact, this coming year, it's going to be celebrating the 40 years.
Wow, 40
The
years.
band has been together in one form or another,
Yeah.
And so it's really exciting. So we've got new management.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be, they've told us it's going to be a very heavy year with dates. And
Wow.
we're going to be, celebrating and making a big splash.
I can't
So
wait to
that's going
see.
to be fun,
Yeah,
too.
I'm sure people are loving that.
It's going to be fun.
So do you get a lot of people coming out to these Cindy Wilson shows expecting to hear B-52's?
Just, you know what? I've gotten the word out here and there that, no, I'm not going to be singing B-52's.
Yeah, you don't do like a weird psychedelic
No.
rock lobster or something?
No. I don't need to.
Yeah.
We don't need to. The music's really that good.
Yeah, sure.
So, and it doesn't lend itself, B-52 music doesn't lend itself to what we're doing. It's kind of a completely different thing.
Yeah. And fans are starting to get that, is what it seems
Oh,
like.
yeah. I mean, I think I've surprised people.
Yeah,
Like,
I was
where the hell did
surprised.
this come out of,
Yeah. Yeah, because have you done any solo stuff before this?
I have, but it was not for real, just like playing around.
Yeah.
But it never made a record or anything,
Yeah.
But I have played with different people, but this as a real project, as far as putting out a solo record and touring with it, it's this one's the real deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like it.
Yeah. And I couldn't ask for a better bunch of people to be, in a band with. There's no drama. It's
Yeah.
just really fun.
That's cool. And it's all the same the same collaborators you had recording, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
And
Yeah, 'cause I
Marie,
noticed you keep saying we, that it doesn't feel
Well,
like your project necessarily.
no, listen, that's one thing I do want to stress is I couldn't have done it alone. It's called a solo project, but it's not solo. I had to have these geniuses, musicians that we were working together, and it's fantastic,
That's cool.
Yeah.
Is that how the B-52's had always done it too? Did you guys kind of go in and write together, or
the Keith and Ricky wrote the music,
okay?
and they would bring in the music, and it depends. The B-52's had a lot of different ways we approach songs. Sometimes we'd have friends bring in lyrics, like 52 Girls, and Rome was written by a friend.
Really?
But Kate and I wrote the vocal melody.
Okay.
And Keith Strickland wrote the music.
So it really was collaborative. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's just collaborative. But I'm saying my point is there's different ways we approached it. Sometimes Fred, now Rock Lobster was a heavily Fred song because he had, I think, like a poet kind of sensibility, and he had a great sense of playfulness with words and phrases and images. He actually had a poetry book called Bleb, which is, it's hard to find.
Have to look that up.
Yeah, it's very hard to find. But he could, Fred had a very, wonderful sense of the absurd, as that was one of the things that brought us all together, was our sense of the absurd and our playfulness.
Yeah, you never took yourselves too seriously.
No, it would lose the fun if you did, But, like sometimes it's a heavily girl song where Kate and I write the melody and vocal melody and harmonies, Each song is different in different degrees.
Right.
And sometimes we write the lyrics, and, it just depends on what the song was. And sometimes you would influence, you're jamming and your part gets left out, but it influenced this thing happening. So it's like jamming, and then you have to dissect it all and put it together like puzzle pieces. It's very labor intensive.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah.
But it sounds like that you seem to really dig that, right?
I do.
Yeah.
Oh, writing was my favorite thing.
Really?
And then after that, watching, the songs become real by performing them and seeing how everybody, likes them and everything. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, getting that genuine reaction from the crowd.
Yeah, the songs become a living thing,
Yeah, then they're not yours anymore. Even like they
well,
yeah.
Well, I guess they are and they aren't. I understand your point. Yeah.
Yeah. Like they sort of exist out there in the world for others to consume.
Yeah.
It's a magical musical.
It is
thing.
very magical, isn't it?
Yeah. So speaking of magic, tell us a little bit about the show tonight. Like, what can people who come and see a Cindy Wilson show now, what are they going to see?
I think you'll be, really surprised. It's going to be, it's kind of an arty type of show where it starts from the beginning and it just flows till the end. There's no, like, stop starts where you like applaud, it kind of just flows like some kind of some kind of show or something.
Yeah.
It's not like a rock and roll regular show.
Oh yeah, because I've heard there's like visuals.
There's
and
visuals. We've got a video and Suni Lyons did those as well, and he's like our tech guy too. He synchronized everything it just rolls really smoothly, and awesome. It's amazing. It's a lot of fun to do the show, and I think people really enjoy it. We're getting a really good reaction.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. All my friends that went to Orlando last night said it was great, and I'm sure people are going to dig the Tampa show tonight.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, a lot of good feedback. So the new album, when's it coming out? I know it's soon, right?
Well, November,
which is pretty soon.
Yeah, they've got to get all their ducks in a row, and
cool. Is it going to be like vinyl?
Yeah,
cassette maybe. Fuchsia vinyl.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be beautiful.
Won't that be pretty?
Yeah. That's what I love about the vinyl resurgence now is like just the product that you get is so nice, you know?
Yes. And you get artwork.
Yeah.
And you just get a beautiful experience.
Yeah, and you can hold it and take it out. And I just love
I
love
too.
the vinyl thing.
Me too.
You know, but cassettes are back in now.
I'm digging that too.
Yeah. Yeah, you're all about the cassettes.
I love that, you know.
Yeah.
Shoot.
It's a total. It's like the opposite experience with cassettes, right? You know.
But I have a whole bunch of cassettes that we used to have. That's how we used to jam. Is like have a tape recorder with a cassette.
Oh yeah.
You know, and then record it. You know, and then we have to listen to it. It's really primitive.
Yeah. Well,
compared to these days.
I think about that all the time. Like just like making electronic music. Like if you tried to make what you put on this new record 20 years ago, you'd have to literally record everything to tape and the sampling and everything was so much more complex.
Yeah.
Now, we can do everything on this laptop.
Yeah. You know? And Suni has done it just so beautifully, you know, the way he mixed and it's just produced everything. It's just gorgeous.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, are there going to be some more singles before the record comes out? Or?
Yeah, I hope so. I think they're talking about Brother as possibly being the next one.
Okay. We'll look out for that.
Which is a rocker.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. Because I was hoping that we'd get some rock and roll.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think we're going to be going more in that direction too.
Yeah. So this project's going to continue then, even with the big 40 years of B-52's.
Oh yeah,
next year.
yeah. We're going to keep writing and keep touring. We're getting better and better the more we tour.
Yeah.
You know. So the little shows have actually sharpened our show.
Yeah. You almost have to be better when you're in a small club or something.
Yeah. You keep doing it every night, and so you say, okay, I'll do this. I'll tweak this.
Yeah.
And so, it's getting tight.
Yeah. And it's different because, when you play like the big arena shows or something like that, you can almost hide behind kind of all the stuff,
I'm enjoying the small clubs. I really would hate to give that up,
Yeah.
Because everybody's right there at you and you feel this energy right here, And,
yeah.
And I love the small stages where the band's together, And
yeah.
It's just, I'm loving it.
I'm sure fans are loving it too. So.
Oh, well, I hope so. Come and see us.
Yeah, definitely will. Any final words for the Cigar City Radio listeners? We're about out of time.
Well, we drove over the bridge and it said, Tampa, and it just had a great energy. We were so happy to come and be here, arrive, I said, Tampa, this is going to be good.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be good. So you're enjoying some nice coffee here at Blind Tiger. So You're already off to a good start in Tampa. Right?
Yeah, I'm buzzing.
Great.
I'm buzzing.
Well, come back and see us again.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for being on.